Just about made it back. Stuffed like 2 slices of pizza. And a half-eaten protein bar. Should be enough. Aeon says hi. Durwood says hello again. Did you see? Did you did you see the end of the game? I can't believe it. They got a player sent off. Then we got a penalty. So the fume is going to be quite loud today. I'll be honest, I was slightly nervous when Salah was stepping up, but he did convert fairly well. Honestly, don't care who wins this game. Yeah, same. I'm not particularly fussed. The positive is Man United already have one GA based on the assist that Hannibal got a few minutes ago. Appreciate he doesn't play for them anymore, but I feel like it should still count to a certain degree. Bagwell says hi. Fish says it's my birthday. Well, happy birthday, Fish. Is it really your birthday? But I'm willing to go with that. Happy birthday to you. Happy 17th, 18th. Fish says hat of the stream, indeed. This hat is growing on me. I wasn't quite sure about it when I bought it, but it's growing on me slightly. I was on the phone with my daughter when Hannibal screwed them. I disliked him from his red card. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. To be fair, that makes it all the more better, I think. Given of all the players to do that, it was Hannibal. He seemed absolutely devastated as well. Which, to be fair, makes things all the more better. Fish says, who's missed me? Well, everybody missed you, as always. Specifically, I think a crazy FC guy was asking, where's Fish? I said, Fish will be around later. So I'd say the conclusion is everybody missed you, but in particular, crazy FC guy. I almost felt bad for him. He knew right away too, yeah. The funny thing is, as well, at the time, we were just talking about anime. So I wasn't really watching the game as always. And then a turn and like Hannibal was like that, and I was like, well, why has he got his head in his hands? Has he given away a penalty? And I was saying Hannibal penalty, and then everyone was getting really excited because they thought it was a penalty to Man United, and I was like, no, Hannibal penalty, and everyone was smiling, and I said, no, Hannibal has given away a penalty. And then I saw Scott Parker. I just realized I haven't even updated the teams. MCI. And then I saw Scott Parker with his head in his hands as well. And I was like, oh my God. Clearly, Liverpool need to stop paying all the referees. "45 seconds. Freya felt bad for that Burnley lad who gave away the penalty. Yeah, Hannibal. He did seem quite devastated, to be honest. To be honest, at the time we were just talking about anime, and then as I looked over, like Hannibal was distraught, and I was thinking, what's going on there? So the penalty surprised me, especially to give that away kind of so late Especially to give that away so late in the game, but we will take it. Yeah, Dawood says almost is the key word, yeah. Almost felt sorry for him. Fish, I have no idea what that means, but I'm hoping it's something positive. Mr. Default says close one. Was that the Haaland chance at the very start? Mr. Default says United. I can't lie, when I was eating my pizza, I kept saying United. So I think you've put that phrase in my mind. Yeah, Freya supports Arsenal. You know Tupac Shakur, yes? He was a rapper from the 90s. But yeah, Bayern Dier in goal. About to take a goal kick. TT saying, I was going to say, don't feel sorry for him. He's ex-Man United, yeah. That limited how bad I could feel for him. I think he also got sent off versus Liverpool. I think Durwood was saying earlier. He also got sent off against Liverpool maybe a year or two ago for a fairly cynical challenge. So yeah. My sympathy will probably expire within a few minutes, and then I'll just be laughing about it. Not close enough. Fish is going to put out another diss track. Your bestie Harry was here earlier. Harry was telling me about how he was doing his English Macbeth homework, and how he was going to create a new diss track. So you might need to wait for him to create his second version first. Reluctant Gamer says, "Yo, you still here?" Indeed. Well, I took a break after the Liverpool game. I went and ate something, and now I'm currently eating half this protein bar, which I would not recommend because it's absolutely disgusting. But yeah, still here. I don't normally do 2 games in a day unless it's a big game, and to be fair, this is a big game because you've got the biggest team in Manchester going up against Man United. Yeah, just created a separate stream for the separate game. Fish, I have no idea what that means. Babsiu Seske. That PSZ I would probably pronounce wrong. I just saw Pep Blinders and I thought, wait, is this a Liverpool game? And then it took a few seconds to hit me that it's not a Liverpool game. Which Liverpool player would have the best walkout music? Probably Virgil van Dijk. If I was to guess, Van Dijk seems like someone who'd have good walkout music. Maybe Andy Robertson. It wouldn't be typically what's popular, but I feel like he'd have good walkout music. It was 2022. Why is that? That's like 3 years ago now. I was thinking, hey, it was last year. But nope. 3 years ago. Bad challenge, but I was wrong. It was just the yellow. Yeah, I recall now. I think they did quite poorly in that game, which resulted in them bigging up that challenge. As if, that was the one positive thing, even though it was really bad tackle. Reluctant says, black or natural? I ordered black, but I want natural. It's coming 19th September. Apple Watch Ultra. What is natural like silver? I'll need to look up like what? Apple Watch. Is natural like silver? Oh yeah, so natural is silver. To be honest, they're both good. Um, to be fair, you've got black. I'd probably be kind of leaning towards that because that's more rare. Like more people have the silver one, so it will make your one more distinct. And I think also with the Apple Watch 2, I think they came out with black like a year later. Ooh, Haaland almost. What's Bayern Dia doing there? Haaland almost scored. I think with the Apple Watch 2 Ultra, I think they came out with black a year later. So less people have the black. So I'd probably get the black. All things considered. Durwood Sons like the brownie flavors of these bars. Brownie flavor might be better. This is caramel crunch. Would not recommend. Unfortunately, I ordered a whole box of them, which in hindsight was not particularly smart. Well, I will say Grenade Oreo, the Oreo bars are very nice. But yeah, this is my last one, which is probably a good thing. Fish, I have no idea what Babsiu Seske Kochani Jaksi Maze Babsiu means. But I will just say yes. Ruktan Gamer says, yeah, I might keep the black one. Black came out, Ultra 2 special color. Yeah, I think black came out last year. Because I think last year they were expecting the Apple Watch 3 to be refreshed. But they just came out with a black version of the Apple Watch 2. So yeah, I'd probably go for that. My one's black as well. It's just the Series 10. But yeah, black works quite well. Fish says, your hair good. I mean, what's left of it? Ikram says, you're super positive. Well, I try my best. Are you going to do the Madrid game Tuesday? Indeed. Specifically, Tuesday, Real Madrid versus Marseille. Wednesday, Liverpool versus Atletico. Thursday, Newcastle versus Barcelona. Nothing on Friday. But Saturday, Liverpool, Everton. Sunday, Arsenal, Man City. And then Tuesday, Liverpool again. So yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week. I'm looking forward to... I was going to say I'm looking forward to seeing how 66 will play. But to be honest, it probably won't even play. Fish says, did you know if you add a wrap in a pan? You've said this before, but I feel like you're missing the second half of the sentence. Like, did you know if you add a wrap in a pan, then something happens? It's like you've left out the punchline to your cooking instruction. United's backup keeper looks like he's questioning his life choices, being on the bench next to Maguire. Yeah, he'll have a lot of questioning that awaits him very soon. I mean, to question things before he's even played a game is an impressive type of record. Mr. Default says we've played better so far. Yeah, to be fair, I think you have in the first 10 minutes. Mason Jason Aviation, what's your top 5 derbies in England? Like from my perspective, number 1, I'd say the Northwest derby, Liverpool Man United. For me, that's the biggest one. Number 2 would be the Liverpool derby, Liverpool Everton. Number 3, me personally, I know a lot of people would disagree with this. Me personally, I'd put this one number 3. City United. Number 4, maybe Arsenal Chelsea. See, Ikram agrees. Wasn't too crazy. And I'm not sure who I'd put number 5. Maybe Spurs Arsenal. That's what I'd do. How about you? Are there any that I am missing? Dawood says you're going to be sick of us by next break. I think it's the opposite. You'll probably be sick of me. But to be honest, one game a day is okay. It's only when it's 2 days, like 2 games a day, like today, where I may struggle. But one day is okay, I think. Fish says Babsiyu, Seske, Kochana, Babsiyu, Bob Usiad. I have no idea what any of this means. These could be the most offensive words of all time. I just have no idea. What's number 3 for me was this one, yeah. See, if I remembered it incorrectly, that would not be a good sign. But yeah, number 3 for me is this one. Just the City, and like even before like City were quote unquote good, the City Man United rivalry always felt a bit more intense to me than the Arsenal Chelsea one. Fish says a crazy FC guy. Yeah, he was here earlier. He was asking about you. So when you said earlier who missed me, I said everybody missed you, but in particular, crazy FC guy. Still 0-0 in this game. I'll be honest, I'm gonna need to watch back the Liverpool Burnley game later. To be honest, I won't watch the entire thing because it's probably not worth it. But the highlights at the very least, all 20 seconds of the highlights. Good pressing. Who's number 3? Is that Mazraoui? Good pressing by Mazraoui to win the ball high up the pitch. Ooh, Ugate's pass was just a bit overhit. Fish says whatever that is. See, I don't even know how to phrase that, to be fair. The answer is yes. Just the last 5 minutes, the game was boring. I'm a bit disappointed that even though Burnley played a low block and Burnley defended very, very deep, Liverpool didn't seem to have an answer for it. It does feel like the definition of getting lucky. Burnley got a player sent off and Liverpool got a penalty. Mason Jason says hi. Ikram says, "What's your favorite smoothie flavor?" Is there such a thing as a bad smoothie flavor? I mean, there's that strawberry and banana one. That's pretty good. But I'm yet to encounter a bad smoothie flavor. But yeah, I did have a strawberry and banana smoothie the other day, which is really nice. What annoys me about smoothies is it'll say strawberry and banana, and then if you read the ingredients, it's like 90% apple. Ooh, Ahmad Ahmad thinking he's Messi trying to bicycle kick. He should have just been sensible and gone for a normal attempt. But he tried to be flashy and he completely missed the chance. But yeah, with smoothies, strawberry and banana. Strawberry and banana is a positive. Durwood says Donnarumma's shirt is too big. He's swimming in it. I don't think he'll do as well at City. Yeah, it could be. It could be a bit much for him. I guess. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I do find it funny that they bought a keeper and they've decided after 2 games they want another keeper. Mason Jason Aviation has switched to horizontal and says, "Wow, your house looks so nice. Thank you. I decorated it myself. When I moved in, this room, to be fair, it was painted the same color as this shirt, like magnolia. Not my choice. And the hallway was the same color. Got the hallway painted, put that Star Wars frame up. Oh my God, City have scored. Foden has scored. Mr. Default will not be very happy about this. Waiting to see the replay. But yeah, got this room painted. I got that mirror from IKEA, which I really like because it's absolutely massive. The only thing left now is I'm populating stuff on that shelf over there. That's my last task to do, I think. So I've bought some stuff to put on that shelf. None of it is football related. But yeah, it keeps me occupied. Oh, it was good play. It was good play by Doku, to be fair. Doku. Who did Doku beat there? Doku left Luke Shaw for dead. Cross it to Phil Foden. Phil Foden with the header. That would be good for Foden's confidence, to be fair. Because he's had a tough time recently. So let's increase the score at the top. Fish says, "You hate my song." Why? I don't hate your song. I specifically commented on your song saying it's very good. Anthony said, "Do you need any mods?" May do in the future. If I do in the future, I'll let you know. Right now, I think I've got a decent handle of it. But if I do in the future, I'll let you know. Fish says, "Are you streaming any Europa League games?" I can do, but next week's looking kind of busy. Looking at the schedule here. Tuesday, Real Madrid versus Marseille at 8 o'clock. Wednesday, Liverpool Atletico, 8 o'clock. Thursday, Newcastle Barcelona, 8 o'clock. I should probably take a break on Friday, otherwise I'm going to be exhausted. Saturday's Liverpool Everton. Sunday's Arsenal Man City, and then Tuesday's Liverpool. So not this week, but I can do another time. Though not particularly happy about the Foden goal. Understandable. Mason Jason Aviation is recalling what Mr. Default may have said earlier about Foden being poor. And additionally, there was this comment from 8 minutes ago, which I will just leave up. To be fair, they have played quite well, but it was intelligent play by Doku, I think, to get past Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw was just thinking about his dinner. Oh, for God's sake! you can sense it in the air. It's there. We still have played better. Yeah, to be fair, they have. Foden loves a derby day. I guess he always gets up for it. I was gonna make a bad joke there, where I didn't. I guess is he from Stockport? So I guess that gives him added impetus. Yes, from Stockport. I didn't know Mainu was from Stockport. I knew he was from Manchester. I didn't know Stockport specifically. What does Mainu have to do to get a game? I think he wanted to go on loan, didn't he, at the end of the window? But the hierarchy said absolutely not. But then play the guy. Dr. DK says, "Bro, how are you, bro? I hope you are. Hope you're good. Bro. Possibly, bro. I don't know what he needs to do at this point, yeah. Like when he comes on as well, to be fair, which isn't often, but when he comes on, I mean, he looks pretty good. Ikram says, could summer signings shift Liverpool's identity from balanced to heavily attacking? I mean, you'd think that based on the signings that were made. Frimpong, very attacking. Kirkes, very attacking. Isak, very attacking. Ekatike, very attacking. So they do seem to have prioritised the attack. They've bought a centre back in Leone, but I still think they're short at the back. So you could certainly say it looks like that based on the signings, but equally in the game that we just watched, that was surely a prime opportunity to play the ball forward a lot more. But they didn't look particularly attacking. If anything, they looked a tad disjointed. Dawood says he has to go to another team. This is Kobe Mainu. Yeah, I think at this point, given that he's still very young, I think he just needs first team football. I don't know if it's going to be like a Kwanzaa situation or an Elliott situation in a year where they leave to get first team football. But it certainly could be. Certainly could be. AR says, McAllister, okay, any update? I'll have a quick look for you. McAllister. There doesn't seem to be any update yet. Press the wrong button. Normally they publish kind of official. On slot has said McAllister, blah blah blah. Just some quite nice looking pictures at the moment. Yeah, nothing official at the moment, but I'll keep that page open in case it refreshes and maybe something will come up. Bayern Dia cannot defend corners, says Mr. Default. He's not great, but to be fair, I always had more confidence in him than Onana. I don't know if that's saying much. Pakirim says, I'm looking forward to the match against you, Galatasaray. Yeah, it should be a good game. In general, I'm looking forward to the Champions League coming back. But yeah, there isn't a single game that I've looked at and thought that seems dull. So yeah, it should be good. Abdul says we need Mark Gahey and Adam Wharton. I do agree with you. If you had to pick one, though, which one would you pick? Like, if you had to pick one. I know which one I would pick. Actually, it's quite that decision is actually harder than it seems. Like, I was thinking I'd go for Gahey because we desperately need a centre back, but Adam Wharton is also, you could argue, is a generational talent. So I think if they can get Mark Gahey in January, and then maybe Adam Wharton in the summer, I think we should be good then. That would probably mean Endo would move on, but it would make sense. It would make sense, I think. Abdul says Liverpool's 3 next fixtures are Atletico Madrid. Yes, Atletico Madrid is Wednesday, 8 o'clock. Everton, Saturday, 12:30. So that's a quick turnaround if you think about it. Wednesday, 8 o'clock at night. So you're going to finish at 10:30. And then Saturday, 12:30 in the afternoon, which means 7:30 for Durwood. Because I think you're 5 hours behind. So that's an early start. And then, yeah, Tuesday, Liverpool, Southampton. Some good games, but all three are at Anfield, so that's a positive. Yeah, Ikram says, who's been Liverpool's standout player this season? Probably Van Dijk, if I'm honest with you. No, none of the attacking players have particularly excelled, but defensively they've been pretty resolute. So I'd probably go for Van Dijk. It's really a good thing when your defender's your best player, but I don't know who else to put. Abdul says 4 games, 4 wins, and 12 points. Yeah, still have a 100% record. So when we think about it that way, it suddenly sounds a lot more positive. If you just look at the table. Fish says Bayern dear to Leipzig. Here we go. Are you making things up again? You very possibly may be. And Mbeumo with a cross cleared. Durwood hopes the penalty for Salah gets his head back in the game. I think he's going to really struggle this season. Yeah, hopefully it gives him a bit of confidence and a bit of self-belief back. Perhaps that's what he's lacking. He did seem to really thunder it into the goal. So yeah, I'm hoping that will push him on now. I do think he'll I do think last season was his standout season. And I do think it's I do think it's very hard to top that. And maybe the hierarchy knew that to a certain. Oh, here's Mbeumo. Mbeumo shakes his backside and hits it over. It's like, bro, what is that? What is that finishing? One on one and he's not even on target. At least Darwin Núñez would probably hit the target. I mean, Mbeumo was offside also. But he had a one-on-one with Donnarumma, and he hit that into the moon. So that ball is on its way to the International Space Station. And to be fair, it wasn't just over. It was wide. It was wide, and it was over. And Mr. Default's not particularly happy about that. It wasn't just you have a one-on-one, and you don't just hit it wide, but you hit it wide and you hit it over. What's going on? Fish says Real Madrid versus Marseille, put Mbappe and Mason Greenwood on the cover. You know what? I think I might have done that. I think I might have actually done that. Oh no, I've done Trent and Marseille. I've done 66 and Mason Greenwood. Close enough, right? Close enough, no? Oh, it's not gonna let me. Actually. It's not coming up, but yeah, I've put a 66 on there. Finley says Volta Messi. To be fair, very good headed goal yesterday. Surprised me with his performance. He played very good. Abdul says we haven't got out of first gear. Very true. And the positive is there is a £130 million striker to add to this, so things will get better. You can see. I guess the positive is to a certain degree. You can see the signs there. Things haven't fully clicked, but equally, they've got 12 points from 4 games. So they're playing. I don't know if badly is the correct word, but they're playing poorly. Means the same thing. They're playing below their standard, but they're still getting the wins. So. If I am to put a positive spin on this, you'd rather play poorly and win rather than play well and lose, I guess. Burnley had no shot on target. I'm not surprised. Barely got out of their own half, and even when they were countering, the counter attacks just felt a bit flat as well. So I'm not surprised. I think I saw something that they had zero XG, which is I mean, I've got 0 XG right now, so can't do worse than that. Van Dijk and Szoboszlai have been great. So yeah. I'd perhaps put Van Dijk number 1, Szoboszlai number 2, especially since Szoboszlai has been playing out of position. I think that's fair for the 2 best players. Bro wants that City contract. Captain Morgan says, "Are you watching on Virgin Media?" I know I'm watching it online. Abdul says Burnley was so defensive, pretty much primarily defensive. Like their whole tactic was just to get. Oh, here's Sesko, probably with a handball. Sesko at least gets it on target, but I feel like that might have been a handball. To be fair, he did very well to stay on side there. But Burnley's tactic was just let's get everyone behind the ball and hopefully score on the counter attack, which unfortunately did not work well for them. Abdul says Vert's getting bullied off the ball and weak on the ball. Premier League is physical, strong, technical, and fast. Yeah, Premier League is all of is pretty much all of those things. Like typically, if something is fast, then it's not strong. But also typically, if something is strong, then it's not fast. The trouble with the Premier League is it's both. So it's fast and it's strong. So yeah, I think it's I do think its physicality is something that they're gonna need to work on. But equally, that's kind of why they go to the gym 4 or 5 days a week. It is something that can be improved. I mean, we just need to look at 66's transformation. 66, I think, perhaps went too far. He perhaps added on too much muscle. Similarly, Conor Bradley. If you look at Conor Bradley looks a lot bigger now than he did. So I think Wirtz will be fast tracked to something similar. Ikram says, will Gomez avoid injuries in a congested schedule? I certainly hope so. Because this schedule is very congested. So we're going to need him. Especially because we didn't sign you-know-who from Crystal Palace on deadline day. So yeah, let's hope he can stay fit. We're going to need him to fill in left back, right back, possibly centre back. Ekitike and Salah not in the game, says Abdul. Yeah, Ekitike got taken off, I think, around 70 minutes. Didn't seem to really be in the game. Salah as well, the ball seemed to go. He would always get the ball on the edge of the box and then he'd try to kind of loft in a cross, but he'd always kind of miss hit it. But I think, as Dawood was saying earlier, hopefully now with the goal he'll get a bit of confidence, hopefully. The good news is as well, going forward, Isak will be on the bench. I think Slot said in the pre-match for this game that he didn't want Isak for this game because he's getting up to fitness, but he basically revealed that for the Atletico game, Isak will be on the bench. So hopefully things will look a bit more positive. For Galatasaray versus Liverpool, put Salah and Torreira on the cover. Yeah, if you can tell me a week before that is. I typically create all the thumbnails a week before. So just tell me a week before, I can do that. Salah scored a penalty as usual. Yeah, standard kind of ghosting performance. Didn't do much, but got that vital penalty. I think this season generally he doesn't quite seem with it, but equally I'm not in panic mode yet. I think hopefully that penalty would have given him a bit of confidence, and hopefully he can move on from here. But equally, I don't think he's gonna. And I did say this in the summer. I don't think he's gonna repeat last season. Last season's like a generational season for a 32-year-old. That's not going to happen again. But if he can just contribute with maybe 70% of what he did, that would be pretty good. Taster Tester says, how's it, man? All good, thank you. We watched the Liverpool game, which was To be honest, pretty boring. Liverpool got the win. Thanks to a penalty. So it was a pretty boring game, all things considered. We ended up talking about anime instead, which kept everybody sane. But yeah, just watching the Man City game now. Man City 1-0 up. Rodri with a poor pass. Abdul says Kirk has hit his head. Is that why he got subbed off then? Did he injure his head? Because I saw his nose was bleeding. I thought, what's happened there? Does that explain the substitution then? One of those concussion types of subs. This is always a highlight, says Ikram. Indeed. Bradley has been at the Gomez trading. Yeah, it's the right back. The right back training schedule is interesting. 66 went through it. Gomez went through it. Bradley's going through it. Interestingly, Robertson did not. I appreciate he's a left back, but you'd think the left back training and the left back nutrition would be similar to the right back training and nutrition because they're both full backs. But no, the way Liverpool seem to like to do it, the right backs are massive and the left backs are tiny. So Kirkes will perhaps stay the same size, but Frimpong and Bradley will be like mini Mamadashvilis very soon. Throw into Man City. Ikram loves my consistency. I appreciate that. One game a day is fine. To be honest, two is tough. 2 is tough because it means talking for 5 hours straight. So that's a bit hard. But one game a day is fine. I can handle that. Which reminds me, you stay hydrated. Still 1-0. Oh, what's his name? Is that Rico Lewis? No, that's O'Reilly. O'Reilly should have just let that roll to Haaland. Haaland would have been through. Was that Reinders? Reindeer? Yeah, he should have just left that to Haaland. Unfortunate. But that's life sometimes. You win some, you lose some. Edit says, nah, top game for real. As in this game or the Liverpool game? And was it because we were talking about Dragon Ball Z most of the time? Reluctant Gamer says, Man City 1-0. Let's go. Yeah. If Man City win 1-0, I'll be so happy because then both my predictions will be correct. Because I predicted Liverpool 1-0 late goal and Man City 1-0. Mr. Default says they won't win 1-0. I was going to make a sarcastic comment to say, do you think it's going to be 3-0? But to be fair, Mr. Default, as predicted at United... Yeah, to be fair, you did predict a 2-1... you did predict a 2-1 win at the start of the game, so yeah, you could be right, to be fair. Could be right. Edit says this game, yeah, I mean, it has been better than the earlier game, I can't lie. Reluctant Gamer says we're talking about Dragon Ball Z and fruit, yeah. we just talk about whatever. To be honest, provided it's interesting, like it's all good. There was a stream a few weeks ago where we were just talking about chicken. We were talking about chicken for like half an hour. So yeah, we talk about the randomest stuff. I blame Liverpool. Hey, if Liverpool scored a few goals, we wouldn't need to talk about anime and fruit. Chiesa to go and Zabja, says Fish. Are you sure about that? As a fan of that team, would you be happy with that, with Chiesa? And how much would you be willing to pay for him? Edit says, who is the captain of City though? Bernardo Silva. I can't lie, he doesn't scream captain, but that's who it is. Who's wearing the armband? Ikram says, will Isak push Liverpool into title contention? I hope he will push them into a few coherent performances. That's my desire at the moment. But ultimately, yes. To be fair, when he came on for Sweden for a whole 20 seconds, and when I say 20 seconds, I mean 20 minutes, he did look really good. He did look lively. So I'm hoping he can come off the bench against Atletico and show everybody how it's done. De Ligt is so underrated, says Mr. Default. Yeah, I mean to be fair, he is decent. To be fair. Who wore the number 4 before that? Was it Phil Jones? So he's certainly a step up from Phil Jones. Mbili dribbling, as in Mbuemo. I still can't get over that miss where he had a one-on-one with Donnarumma, and he didn't just hit it wide; he hit it over as well. Edit says, bro, Dogu is amazing. I mean, a lot of people say that. I've never seen it, but to be fair, Mr. Default was also saying Dogu's quite good going forward. Edit is now also saying Dogu's amazing. It's probably just me then, I just doesn't see it. I could be wrong. I have been wrong in the past. He's getting forward there on the left, number 13. Edit says Foden's new haircut is fire. I can't lie, it does suit him. I do think he looks. I do think it looks better with the longer hair. He's a bit like Clark Kent. I don't know if you've seen the Superman movie, but Clark Kent has that kind of bushy hair. Bournemouth are 4th in the Premier League, says Abdul. So that surprises me. That surprises me to a certain degree. That surprises me. But you are correct. I know why it's not working, because I've... If you look at that, Abdul is correct. Bournemouth are 4th. Liverpool are 1st. Arsenal 2nd. Spurs 3rd. So yeah, good for Bournemouth. I mean, Bournemouth lost a lot of players. Lost Kirkes, lost Howson. But with a good manager, they seem to be continuing their good standards. Oh, says, look in, lads. How are you? Oh. Amir says, the managers are not what they used to be. If you remember how when they re-signed Rooney, maybe they should listen to us again now. How do you mean? When they re-signed Rooney, as in when Rooney went back to Everton, or do you mean when Rooney went to Man United? I still remember when Rooney went to Man United. Newcastle put in a 20 million pound bid, which got rejected by Everton, and then Man United put in a 30 million pound bid, which got accepted. Abdul says Semenyo 3 goals. Wow. Correction, Semenyo, would you take him? To be honest, I probably would. Number 1, because it would annoy that fan who was abusing him. And number 2, like, he's effective. He gets goals. He's pacey. He's intelligent. He got 2 goals against Liverpool, and he's also Premier League proven. I appreciate being Premier League proven premium, so he would be more expensive, but for the right price, yeah. But that's that's the contingency, for the right price. For the right price. And maybe I'm being a bit stingy, but the right price is around 60-ish. Half time. Let me just stop the timer. That's the good thing about streaming more often. You remember the timer. Ikram says, could Frimpong redefine Liverpool's right flank creatively? Yes, it will. It will literally be a redefinition, because he's completely a different type of player to what 66 was. 66 was perhaps more technical. Not to say Frimpong is not, because he is, but Frimpong is certainly more aggressive, certainly faster. Probably has a better shot on him as well. So yeah, he will redefine how the right flank works, purely because he plays differently to how 66 played. The only thing is, and I guess it's something we need to see, if Frimpong is attacking, does that mean Kerkez is going to sit back? But equally, if Kerkez is attacking, does that mean Frimpong is going to sit back? They haven't really played together enough for us to kind of know for certain. I can honestly see Spurs being in top 6 this season. They got rid of Son and they're doing better than expected. Same after Kane left, yeah. It could be the PSG effect to a certain degree. Get rid of Messi, get rid of Mbappe, get rid of Neymar, and then turn into the best team in the world. It certainly could happen. They seem to be playing better as a unit. So yeah, I was it 14th or something that they finished last year. Yeah, I think they'll do a lot better. Thomas Frank seems to be getting a good tune out of the players as well, so things are looking positive. How you doing at DB LFC? Says new setup, I see. Yeah, I moved the camera around. I look a lot thinner from the side than I do from the front. So that's part of the reason. And I also changed the text box to white background with black text. I think that looks better than the default one. Edits is loving Foden. I mean he's had a good off, got a goal, and let's be honest, his haircut does look quite good. So things are looking up for Philip. Yeah, Risa was a good left back in the day. He did transition into being a left midfielder, but as a left back, he was also very good. Siska says hi. How you doing, Siska? Hope you're well. Dehydration. How long have we been going for now? So there was the 90 minutes for the first half, and for the first game plus 45. That's over 2 hours. Siska says, nice to meet you. I'm from Indonesia. Very nice. I've never been to Indonesia before, but I've heard it's a nice country. I may visit. Maybe next year, or maybe the year after. I've not done much traveling in Asia, which you would. You would think I would, but I haven't done much. But yeah, mostly traveling in America this year. But yeah, could go next year. Is there any particular city that you would recommend? SFC Joe says, did you see the South Coast derby? Terrible from Saints. I'm so disappointed. No, I didn't see it. What happened? You'll have to provide more context. Fish says the Goranik Zabjet to beat United. To be honest, I could beat United sitting here. So it's not saying much. C says, let's all laugh at United. And Mr. Default says, currently writing my excuses for when we don't win. No, I appreciate that. To be honest, you're still in with a chance. My pre-game prediction was 1-0. And the Liverpool game, I predicted 1-0 with a very late goal. So if it is 1-0, I shall be buying a lottery ticket tonight. And Buemo is decent though. Yeah, I mean to be fair, his runs are quite good. He gets into good positions. Like maybe we were being a bit too harsh with the shot. Maybe he just got a bit nervous. But at least he looks a threat, you could say, which is more than Hoyland ever did. Tyler Starboy owns United. Is that Foden? Nice goal, and also a nice haircut. Mr. Default's dad owns TikTok. You not works for TikTok. You owns TikTok. Owns it. We got dominate. Oh no. One more bad word, and you're all banned for life. Everyone needs to be nice to Mr. Default. Joe says 0-0. Boring draw. We got dominated in the first half, then couldn't create anything in the second half when we were dominating. I see what you mean. Well, that's always frustrating. I can't lie. In a way, like I don't know if it makes you feel any better, but like if you're dominating, at least there's like a cohesive style of play that hopefully, if you dominate in the next game, you can get something. I don't know if that makes things better. But I understand your frustration. Reluctant Gamer says Tottenham are the most improved team of last season's team. Yeah, from about 14th up to 4th. They've progressed right up the table, and I do think they'll keep this up. But perhaps they won't finish 4th at the end of the season. But I certainly think they will do a lot better than they did last season. So they're a team to watch out for. These halftime interviews are ridiculous. Yeah, I always say that. Let the players get to the locker rooms and meet with their teams. This game is turning very American. Yes, we will have Taylor Swift performances at halftime very soon. And that I wouldn't mind so much. But if it's, I don't know. Sabrina Carpenter, does she sing songs? Then I would not be very happy. But yeah, it feels a bit... For me, like halftime, let the player go and rest. And even most kind of football fans, they say we don't want to hear from the players. Let them get back into the dressing room. Let them have a rest. Let them recuperate, and then they can do an interview after if they want. So yeah, this seems to be an idea which is universally hated by everyone. Edits expected more from Sesko. Yeah. I mean, his movement was pretty good, but he could have maybe finished that slightly better. Fish says, how good was Manquillo? I always liked Javi Manquillo. He was bought for very cheap, but I thought he was good. Connor Cody, I never rated, and that's before he went to Everton. And Travis, I don't know who Travis is. Tyler says, Philip Walter Foden is City Starboy treble winner, robbed of a Ballon d'Or. I mean, they need to give him a Ballon d'Or purely because his middle name is Walter. I think if you're called Walter, if you have to live with being called Walter, just give him the award. He's been through a lot. RG255 says, hi, how you doing? How are you after your accident? Didn't you fall off a scooter last week? But I hope you're recovering well. Edit says, Doku underrated. To be fair, that run he made was very good. I appreciate Luke Shaw was still standing there, but it was a very aggressive run. And you could argue he did most of the hard work for the goal. So yeah, I mean, it was good. It was well done. And Ikram also thinks it was on point. I was gonna say hopefully he has a good season, but I don't want him to have a good season, but there's a chance he could do. RG255 says, hi, RG255 has recovered from his scooter escapades, which is good to hear. It's good to hear you're recovering well. Edit says, bro, Donnarumma is a W. At the very least, he's very imposing in that goal. I mean, being absolutely massive, I guess, helps. But yeah, I think this is his first game for City. So let's see how he does overall. Fish says Lewis Travis. I do not remember a Lewis Travis, to be honest with you. Is he a left back? Lewis Travis. I'm gonna look this guy up because I don't even recognize the name. It looks like he came through the ranks of Liverpool as a kind of youngster, but he never really played for the senior team. That's probably why I don't remember him. Edit says, bro, this is not the same United I saw versus Grimsby. It's way better. Yeah, I mean, they are performing better. Sometimes I feel like when you play smaller teams, like it mentally can affect you in a negative way. Like Liverpool were pretty unstoppable last season, but they came up against, was it Preston in the FA Cup and just got knocked out by Preston? So I think sometimes weirdly, when these super teams come up against teams from lower leagues, maybe they don't bother, maybe they think it'll be a walk in the park, and then it ends up biting them because it's not a walk in the park. Whereas this City game, at the very least, they seem more up for it. RG255's profile picture is changing. Good stuff. Those are the first 7 numbers. Reluctant Gamer says how much that hat costs, like £10. Something like that. Something crazy. Update, Mr. Dad's just bought TikTok from... Mr. Default's dad has just purchased TikTok from TikTok shop. You all getting banned. That was very quick delivery, to be fair. TikTok was certainly not delivered by Royal Mail. Unless United win. If United win, then we're not going to get banned. Then it's a celebration. So let's hope United win. Oh my god, I've never said that before. Marching down Anfield Road said relegate Burnley to National League. Anyway, up the Reds onto midweek. I can't lie, that was a very National League type of performance. Let's just stick every player behind the ball. And even when they countered, it just felt a bit flat. So yeah, I'd be in favour of that. Immediate relegation. These halftime interviews are awful. Who's doing the interview? Depending on who the player is, then I can understand why it's awful. Reluctant Gamer says, is that a Gucci hat? How £10? It's not a genuine one. But it looks pretty good. I think it looks pretty good. But yeah, a real one's like £500 or so, 500 quid or something. Did you see that Haaland touch versus Bruno? I did not. I might have missed it. What happened? Was it a foul or was it a exquisite bit of play? Marching down Anfield Road is in favour of me being in favour of Burnley getting relegated. To be honest, everyone's life would be better if that happened. So let's hope that can be done quite swiftly. Reluctant Gamer says it looks genuine. Yeah, it looks. It does look pretty good. Mr. Default said Liverpool should get relegated. I mean, that's very unlikely, unfortunately. I mean, I wouldn't say it's impossible. You never know. There's a chance that Alisson and Frimpong and Kanate and Van Dijk and Kirkes and Gravenberch and Sabazlai and McAllister and Wirtz and Gakpo and Salah and Ekitike and Isak and Chiesa and Rio could all get injured, and then they'd still finish above United. No, but then there's a chance. There's a chance they could get relegated. To be fair, I don't know. Blah blah, or worse players. I don't know if there's some sort of protocol where, like, if all your players get injured, you can buy somebody. I think it's only goalkeeper. I think like if both your goalkeepers get injured or something, you can then buy somebody. Edit says restart. Not yet. They're just coming out, but maybe in the next 20 seconds. Haaland flicked over Bruno whilst... Oh, I'll have to watch that back. Fish says, how good was Sergi Canos? Didn't really see him play. Adrian was fine. I mean, he was a free transfer, so I guess we have to adjust our expectations. But I still find it quite difficult to forgive him for that Atletico game, but it is what it is. Suso had the best of his career at AC Milan. Didn't really have much of an opportunity at Liverpool. Canos there second time. Pedro Chirivella, he was another one of those players who used to play a lot in pre-season, and then we get really excited. Yeah, we got Pedro Chirivella, and then nothing happens. He gets sold. Aspas or Asaps, but probably Aspas. Aspas was okay, not great. Ended up getting sold and having the best of his career elsewhere. Danny Pacheco was very highly rated. I think he came out of the Barcelona academy, and Liverpool thought that was a bit of a kind of coup at the time, but didn't really thrive at Liverpool. And I don't know what happened to him. Probably got sold. And Ars, I don't know who that is. I don't know who that last one is, Fish. But now they have kicked off. So Edits was saying restart. The restart has commenced. Oh, my timer's a bit off. See if we can fix this. There we go. So City attacking from right to left now. Good pass by Mazraoui. I think Mazraoui's looked fine. Dogu with a cross, defended by Ruben Diaz. I don't know how I feel about Ruben Diaz's haircut, but it is what it is. What about Alberto Moreno? I mean, Alberto Moreno was fine. Again, he had a few bozo moments where he'd do very silly things, but equally he could also go on runs of having very good form. I remember when Andy Robertson was signed, Moreno was having the form of his life, to the point where Andy Robertson even did an interview where he said, look, if I'm not going to get into the Liverpool team, what's the point of me being here? So that's how good Moreno was playing at the time. Then Moreno got injured, and then Robertson got into the team, and then Moreno never got back into the team. Luis Alberto, wasn't great. I mean, he sounds like it'd be great, but he just was not, unfortunately. Ikram says, will Mamadashvili become a summer signing success? Or the triple S, as that seems. I was going to say, if you take the first letter of the last four words, then that tells you what he'll be. But to be honest, I think he'll be pretty good. I mean, he looks good based on what we've seen. Played well for Valencia, plays well for Georgia, did well in pre-season. We just need to see how he looks in kind of, what's the word, proper games, which he will get a chance to do. He will get a chance to do. A Reluctant Gamer says, what console you got? Currently playing on PC. I built a PC around Christmas time. Before that, last year I had a PS5 and I had an Xbox One. But then I built a PC. So now I mostly just play on that, to be honest. It's one of those things though where you set a budget, and then you end up going significantly over that budget. But it is what it is. Daniel says, hi mate, what do you think about the performance today? I'll be honest, one of the most boring things I've ever seen in my life. And I painted a wall 3 weeks ago, and I was then staring at it, and the performance was worse than that. Not great. I mean, Burnley were defending very deep, but Liverpool didn't really seem to have an answer for it. Liverpool did their standard thing of committing multiple players forward, which then left Liverpool at risk of a counter-attack. But with that said, I just wish I just wish there was a bit more creativity. Liverpool seemed like they were kind of lacking in creativity, lacking in any sort of decisiveness. I appreciate they got the win, and a win is a win at the end of the day. 12 points out of 4 games is pretty much the max that you can get. But from a performance perspective, I don't think it was great. The positive is, at the very least, you do have Alexander Isak to add to this. So fingers crossed they can learn from this, and fingers crossed things get better versus Atletico. Is that on Tuesday or is that on Wednesday? Having a quick look. Wednesday. Fingers crossed things get better against Atletico, where Isak will be on the bench, so he can come up. He can come off. Reluctant Gamer says, what's your game that you play? Right now on PC, I'm playing this game called Hell Is Us. It's like a third person, I wouldn't call it horror, but horror-ish type game where things are a bit uneasy and you need to figure out what's going on. So I'm playing that at the moment. Finished Silent Hill 2 maybe a few weeks back. That was very good. But yeah, there's loads of games I'm forgetting. I've played quite a few this year. Daniel says, yes, our attacking players looked out of ideas and crossing was just aimless. Yeah, the crossing in particular. There was a tendency to get the ball to Salah on the edge of the box, and then Salah would cut it inside onto his left foot and do that kind of looping cross. Which last year, that looping cross would always go to Gakpo, but this year that looping cross would just, or should I say in this game, that looping cross kept going wide. So I'm hoping that's something that they can work on. Hopefully with Alexander Isak being on the bench against Atletico, he should add a bit. Oh, Haaland just scored. It's 2-0. My prediction was wrong. I mean, Haaland showing there kind of what Liverpool needed all game. Reluctant Gamer says Newcastle Barcelona Thursday. Yeah, looking forward to that one. I shall be here for that. I'm super intrigued to see how they do. Super intrigued to see kind of how they do. What's your favorite horror movies? I'll show you in a bit. I'll show you. There's a website where like you can basically store the things that you've watched and put a rating on them. So I'll show you some good ones. Elias says, bro, make a prayer so United can score. I think we're all going to need to pray now that they're 2-0 down. Mr. Default meant 2-1. United come on. 2-1 would still be a City win, right? Do you not mean 3-2? Edit says, Haaland, let's go. Let's go. What a play by City. What a goal. Proper striker's instinct. At least you'll save money from not buying a lotto ticket. Very true. That is one of the benefits. How much are tickets these days? Like £2 or something. So yeah, I've saved a bit there. I'm just trying to find you that movie thing. Well, if I'm entering my password wrong, I mean, that's probably the problem. How do here we go. So there's like this website where you can rank kind of movies that you watched. In terms of horror movies, oh shit. In terms of horror movies, that Hereditary is very good. Oddity is very good. Blink Twice, very good. Trap, very good. Speak No Evil, very good. We should probably also add Man United's performance to this list of horror movies. What else do we have? In terms of the ones that I think are amazing, probably those, because I've given those 4.5 stars. So yeah, those are some I'd recommend. Everyone's saying it's almost 3-0. I was showing Reluctant Gamer the horror movie list, but yeah, Amarim's not going to be happy. Edit says Amarim is shocked. Mr. Default says we'll still be playing better. I mean, to be fair, on the Liverpool game, I did write on the screen, Mr. Default loves Liverpool. So you're welcome. You're welcome to come over to this side of the fence if this mental anguish of supporting this team becomes too much. Would you rather have Isak or Haaland at Liverpool? Says Reluctant Gamer. I'd go for Isak. I think he's more well-rounded. Haaland is more of a kind of pure finisher, which is also an amazing thing. But I just feel like Isak supports or fits into Liverpool a bit better. Edit says, oh my god, almost 3-0. Mr. Default said almost 3-0. Avalat says Man United getting bullied. I can't lie, this has been more exciting than the Liverpool game, which was rubbish. Reluctant Gamer says, lol, add Man United to that list of horror movies. That's a good one. Yeah, 5 stars. Every Man United performance would be in a category of its own. Mr. Defoe rejects the offer to come over to the good side. Says, hell no, United till I die. I live and breathe United. Fair enough. You gotta respect the commitment. Reluctant gamers like slasher movies. Okay. Halloween. Yeah, that one was good. With is it Jamie Lee Curtis or something? Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Chucky. Wow, literally. There's a common theme there, as you've described. But yeah, those are good. Those are good as well. Avalatz. So is it Avalatz? Says I wish we played Man United every week. That would be good. Easy way to win the league. To be fair, that's a better way of thinking about it. There could be a horror or a comedy, depending on which side you support. A user says today's game shows Liverpool are short at left wing. Gakpo is good. And Rio is too raw. I mean, to be fair, it was always a risk to a certain degree, selling Diaz and effectively not replacing him. I don't know if they've got like a magical solution up their sleeves where Ekitike fills in on the left, even though I don't think it'd be great there. But you know what I mean. The whole Ekitike situation is weird. Because they paid 70 million for him, and then they paid 130 for Isak. So would they really pay 70 million for a backup? That doesn't feel like a Liverpool thing to do. So it wouldn't surprise me if Ekitike plays on the left in some form. Fish is playing GTA 5 and committing robbery. Well, do not leave any fingerprints. Not leave any DNA. Always use gloves. Is that the single player or is that the multiplayer? That is the question. Reluctant Gamer thinks Conjuring is good. Yeah, I've heard good things about that as well. I'm more into maybe kind of creepy horrors. Where something's a bit creepy and you don't know what's going on. So Oddity, which I randomly watched maybe half a year ago, was very good. Haaland says, Mr. Default says Haaland scored at 53 minutes when I said Mbeumo would score. To be fair, at least you were half right. Mazraoui with a poor pass. I mean, at least you got the minutes right. I'd take that as a positive. City up to 8th and United down to 13th. How long is Amar? Oh, that was a really good volley by Mbeumo. That was better by Brian. But to be fair, Donnarumma made a very good save. But yeah, I wonder how long they can. To be fair, very good volley, very good technique on that. But yeah, I wonder how long they can stick with Mr. Huben. Fish says, how's Gornik Zabja? No idea, and I didn't know they were playing today. Reluctant Gamer likes creepy horrors. What's your number one horror? I mean, it must be on this list. But, so quick look. I'm probably missing a few because I only started logging things on this website quite recently. But in terms of what I've seen recently, that one there, that Trap is very good. It's perhaps more kind of suspenseful rather than horror, but it's really good. A lot of these are documentary. This one was decent. Heretic. This one was good. This one's good. If you like creepy vibes, yeah. I mean, just look at Hugh Grant's face. I mean, if you like creepy vibes, Nothing gets older than nothing gets creepier than an old Hugh Grant. So that's this one I'd recommend if you've not seen it. I gave it 4 stars, but it's good. Favorite of all time would be hard to define, I think. But trying to see what else is on here. Yeah, Blink Twice, Oddity. To be fair, I'd have to kind of think quite hard about kind of what my favorite of all time is. Ikram says, facts. Mr. Default says, geez, almost 600 viewers. Mainu, and Maguire inbound. United. 3-2 United. I mean, 3-2 is possible. Unlikely. I mean, it's possible, but it's unlikely. City are on the attack again. Oh, Haaland with a volley again. Yeah, City don't want to leave this. City don't want to leave this to chance. Fish says hi, hello Fish. I like your display picture, and I also like your username. Ikram says, is Ekatike's pace his best quality? I don't know about best quality because he doesn't seem... I mean, he's fast, but he's perhaps not the most rapid. I'd say his best quality is perhaps his versatility. I know that's a bit of a lazy answer because you're saying, oh, everything's amazing, but he seems to be a consistent 7 out of 10 at absolutely everything. So I think that's valuable, number one. And number two, I was impressed by his finishing as well. But to be totally honest with you, he hasn't really played enough games yet to make any definitive conclusions. But I'd say his well-roundedness and his ability to finish. Slot said he bought McAllister off at halftime for tactical reasons. Okay, I guess that's positive. I guess that's positive that he doesn't have a serious injury or kind of anything like that. I mean, I wonder what the tactical reasons are specifically. Because he seemed to be doing okay. He seemed to be doing okay. Perhaps it's fitness combined with tactics, you know what I mean? Like, perhaps he tactically was not up to it because he wasn't quite fit enough. Perhaps there's something in that. Fish has changed his username to Eat My Shorts and says who? Is that a cat's face on a plane? That's very interesting. And Buemo... To be fair, time's gone really quickly today. If you think about it. Well, I certainly feel like it has. Yeah, it makes sense. McAllister doesn't have a lot of game time. He compared it to the Isak situation. Yeah, makes sense. McAllister had a weird kind of pre-season. I don't know if he was injured. I think he might have been. But I just remembered in that like double header game, Liverpool versus Bilbao, where there was like a junior team and a senior team. McAllister played that game with the junior team, which which probably says, okay, he wasn't quite fit enough for senior football at that time. And yeah, it's again they're gonna need to gradually get him up to fitness. The worst thing to do would be to kind of overplay him and then he gets injured. That would be terrible. Oh, Haaland's through here. Haaland's through. Maguire's trying to run back, but Maguire does not run back because he's Maguire and Maguire's terrible. And it's 3-0. And Haaland is happy. Mr. Default will not be happy. That finish, though, you gotta say that only a few strikers in the world are doing that finish. And he's one of them. Just because, like, we've seen, like, I know he's not there anymore, but we've seen Núñez in that position so much over the years. And just to see Haaland finish that easily, it's pretty amazing. Fish says, Eddie, whoever that is. No idea who that is. Mr. Default says, hey Siri, how to delete TikTok live comments? You'll be okay, thankfully. I mean, your dad does own TikTok, so just ask him. I was going to say ask him to raise a ticket, but I mean, since he owns the website, he can do what he wants. Okay, and Kirkers was taken off because he got a yellow earlier. Okay. I mean, there's early. That one I'm a bit more on. Because I swear it was before half time. And even if a player gets a yellow early, like taking them off before half time is a bit suspect. I don't know. I guess we'll see more after the Atletico game. Fish, who has also created yet another account, says hi. Dawood says welcome back Ox. And Fish is like, huh? We should perhaps say welcome back Fish. And then he'll be like, yes. 4-3 inbound United. So we've had 1-0 inbound. We have 2-1 inbound. We've had 3-2 inbound. We're now on 4-3 inbound United. I am eagerly looking forward to the 5-4 inbound and potentially the 6-5 inbound. And let's be honest, also the 7-6 inbound. Now, if City score 6, then I am going to buy a lottery ticket. I mean, even Ikram says that's legit. McAllister was injured and the end of the last season and continued over to the first couple of games this season. Yeah. He hasn't really had a rest, kind of considering how much he was playing last season and also considering how much he's been playing for Argentina, flying all over the world, playing football, flying back, playing football. I think they just need to ease him into things. There was a questionable foul that possibly could... yes, okay, makes sense. So, you can tell I wasn't really watching it properly. But yeah, that happens sometimes when managers feel like players have kind of lost their heads. They'll kind of take them off. Otherwise, you're risking a sending off. Fish says I'm Oxlade-Chamberlain, not Fish. Sorry, not Fish. Oxlade-Chamberlain says I'm Oxlade-Chamberlain. 20 minutes to go then, roughly. It is raining like crazy. Ah, yes, that does explain why it looks like Slot was. Yeah, it looked like he was. Yeah, scolding him. That would be a good way to explain it. Looked like he was lecturing him about something. But yeah, probably with respect to his temperament. So yeah, I'm just eager to see who starts at left back versus Atletico now. To be honest, I don't think he'd drop Kirkes over one thing. So I'd expect something the same. Reluctant Gamer says 3-0, just noticed, yeah. City firmly in control. The last goal was very good. Counter-attack, Haaland out wide. Haaland finished from a very tight angle, right into the corner. Fernandes fails to pass it 2 yards. Oh, Haaland with a through pass to Reinders, who needs to look for or maybe he finishes. Oh, how's he missed that? Reinders reminding everyone that he's not Haaland. Reinders should have made that 4-0. In reality, this game should probably be 5-0. I mean, he timed the run perfectly, and he had a one-on-one. Yeah, it just goes wide. Fish says, Google whoever that is. I'm very reluctant to Google what you tell me to Google. Darwin 2.0. It certainly could be, with finishing like that. We were talking about things looking weird earlier, like Van Persie in a Man United shirt, Owen in a Man United shirt, Paul Ince in a Liverpool shirt. Another thing that looks weird is Pep Linders in a Man City coat. Looks very odd. Rodri's coming off because, let's be honest, the game is pretty much done at this point. I think Doku is also coming off. Fish with the vital updates of very important information. Thank you for that update. It has changed my life. I'm always curious about your bowel movements, and now I'm fully up to date. So thank you. I mean, if I have any questions, I will send them your way. Crossed by United, cleared by Haaland. Haaland is absolutely everywhere today. I mean, this is a pretty amazing performance, I can't lie. Ikram says you're always awesome. Appreciate that. If Amarim always uses the same formation, won't other teams adjust theirs to always win? Yeah, I mean, there's absolutely no unpredictability. You know what they're going to do, and you know how they're going to do it. So teams just seem to always exploit the space in the middle. And the thing is, right, it's one thing always using the same formation. It's another thing always using a formation which has very obvious weaknesses. So teams don't just know how they're going to play, they also know how to play. I mean, I'm convinced that if Amarim went to a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1, he'd instantly at least win a few games. Mainly with a good bit of play, and then Dogu with a trash cross. But he wants to be all bougie and all, all exotic with this weird formation. I mean, the same thing's going to happen. Cleared. Nick Tock Knock says, how long would leadership give him until Christmas? I mean, hopefully after the Liverpool game at the very least. Hopefully at least till after then. There tends to be like a big loss, and then these managers tend to get fired after that big loss. Like an example would be when Jose Mourinho came up against Liverpool. Shaqiri scored 2 goals, and then he got fired. And I think the same might have happened to Oli. So, not to kind of exhibit main character syndrome or anything, but I feel like if they came up against Liverpool and Liverpool battered them, then they'd probably get rid. But then the other question is who do you replace him with? It seems to be the graveyard where managerial careers go to die, as well as playing careers. Why does it seem like Bruno has been playing for United for like 15 years? Like he's always been there. Yeah, same with City. Same with Silva for City. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to think of him in another shirt at this point. Has he been there like before? Has he been there for like has he been there since before Salah went to Liverpool? I think he has. But he has been there for a very long time, and unfortunately for him, it doesn't really have much to show. I mean, my thing in the summer was that they needed to sell him. They need to perhaps sell Bruno to move on, but they did not do that. It's game now. Casemiro coming on. They need Maguire to save the day. Yeah, stick Harry up front. To be fair, good old Harry is their best striker. So it would have surprised me to see him up front again. They've been through so many managers. As long as they aren't going to be relegated, give him time. Yeah, I mean, I'd be in favour of giving him time. Unfortunately, this system, which worked quite well in Portugal, doesn't seem to work as well in England, where the players are a lot more physical and a lot more fast. So I hope he stays for a long time, and I also hope he keeps this god-awful formation. It's so funny watching Harry Maguire run. He's just trying his hardest. Fisher's little shorty, let's do this. I mean, it depends what the this is, to be fair. If only you count the tears I've cried a million times. I swear I've died. I'm trying, but it's still not right. The only time I want her is night. But not during the day. Not during the day. She can't be particularly happy about that. Ahmad Boemo misses from 2 yards out. I think that sums up their day. I looked it up and Bruno came in 2020. Did he? Oh, 2020. It's like 5 years ago. So less time than Salah's been there. No way. I feel like Bruno's been there a decade. 2020 as well. Silva makes sense, yeah. So, yeah, Silva was around the same time as Salah, but Bruno in 2020 is a bit of a shocker. Corner for United. Technic says yeah. Ikram says, which Liverpool player has the coolest car? I have absolutely no idea what cars they have. And Casemiro just misses from 3 centimeters out. I mean, probably one of the senior players, probably Van Dijk or something. I know the young players are not allowed to buy kind of fancy cars and that sort of thing. I can't believe Villa only have 2 points. Martinez must really want out, yeah. Oh, wow, yeah, then they're 19th, which is quite the shocker, being that far down. 4 games played, 2 points. Oh, clearly Harvey Elliott is too big for that club. I mean, maybe Elliott will turn things around for them. We can hope at the very least. Cross by Mainu. Nothing happens. Dogu. Nothing happens. That is the summary of this game. I still maintain Dogu's pants and Mazraoui's better. Amarim does not look very happy. The United fans are leaving. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. We've lost another game. I thought they were going to win the league. That's what I was hearing in the summer. But unfortunately, doesn't seem to be the case. Expectations of first, reality of 20th. Doku did very well for City. He did. I was particularly impressed with how he created the space for Foden to make that goal. He just completely ran past Luke Shaw like he was not there. Wait, I said if Donnarumma leaves PSG this summer, he needs to be looked at. It needs to be looked into after the Club World Cup. I think I said if he goes to Chelsea, but still, yeah. The whole situation is a bit strange. Haaland's coming off. They're just replaying his goals now. Like he's literally an android. Tick Nick Knock Talk says yeah, and got the cross in at the second attempt was fast footwork. Yeah, I mean, Luke Shaw was just standing there like he was thinking about his dinner. But Doku was determined. Easily got past him and had a very good assist. To be fair, he probably was literally thinking about his dinner. Ikram says Liverpool FC are the pride of Anfield. It makes sense because that is their ground. Fish, continuing with his song lyrics, wishes to state she might get a new Mercedes. She say she want me. Are we okay? Lil Shorty, let's do this. Uh-huh. I mean, if she's getting a new Mercedes, does that insinuate she already has a Mercedes and this is a new version? And what is the this that is going to be performed, or do I not want to know? Probably about 3-4 minutes left. Yeah, United not coming back from this. They're 12th now. 4 points from 4 games. I've seen worse. Liverpool somehow 12 points from 4 games. They don't deserve that, but we'll take it. Mr. Default refusing to give up hope, says there is still time. That is true. I mean, they could get one goal a minute. You never know. I've seen crazier things happen. A reluctant gamer says Newcastle only got 5 points. That is a surprise. Yeah, they're currently in 10th with 5 points. For some reason I thought they had a lot more than that. But yeah, to be honest, they'll climb right up that table. Nice little goal for Voltamade. So I'm sure they'll climb straight up. United are 14th now. Do I need to refresh? Yeah, they're 14th now. They're just continuing to go south. Every time I refresh the page. What's his name? Mr. Ineos is in the crowd. Looking like he belongs in the cast of Oliver. But not looking very happy. Nick Toknok says, I'm from the Wirral, living in California. Wife from Sheffield. Very nice. What city is your accent from? Basically just bit south of Liverpool. Grew up in the Midlands. Worked a lot in London. Then worked a lot abroad. Did a bit of work in Netherlands, Belgium. So I've probably got like a mishmash of accents. But California, I've never been to California before. I did go to New York earlier in the year. It was very good. I still think about the pizza every day. I may need to go back just for that. Reluctant Gamer says we dropped crucial points against Villa and Leeds. Could have been more. A lot of those games were very close. We need to sack more dinner ladies. Well, I would not recommend that because Luke Shaw was thinking about their output whilst Doku went through him and whilst Foden scored. I mean, it might make Luke Shaw concentrate a bit more. It might make him concentrate a bit less. I mean, who else can they sack? I'm not sure who's left, to be honest. Can the owner sack himself? Ikram says, who's Liverpool's most important player right now? Yeah, I'd go with Van Dijk. I don't think the attacking players have quite hit the heights yet, but Liverpool have generally been resolute at the back. Whilst I say that, Kanate hasn't looked great overall, but Van Dijk has. So yeah, Van Dijk Van Dijk's been the most important Liverpool player, 100%. 100%. He should have invested into Everton, not United. That is true. The thing is with this Ineos guy, he doesn't really have a good track record kind of wherever he goes. Was it Nice? Was Nice the other club that he was at? He didn't really perform too well there. So it surprises me they were so excited about a guy who kind of failed at Nice. If you go back to New York, Pixel and I will join you for a slice. Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a good plan. A slice or two, because I find it difficult to have just one. Sack the security, so they don't need security if they're harming themselves that much. Sack the plumbers, well, they don't need plumbers if they're literal shite themselves. So plumbers also not needed. Nick says, thanks for the chat. Have a good one. You too. Ikram says, do you enjoy the action so far? It was okay. I mean, as a neutral, it was better than the Liverpool game with three goals. Van Dijk, top 10 greatest centre back of all time. Yeah, I think it definitely has to be in that conversation regarding how he's transformed Liverpool. I mean, I appreciate Salah gets all the plaudits, but I mean, if I had to pick one, I'd say probably Van Dijk is perhaps the most important signing. He also has parts in F1 Mercedes. Yeah, he's got his hands in a lot of pies, should we say? I was going to slice or a pie, but I thought that was a little much. Yeah, the pies, as in the pizzas, are absolutely massive. What I will say is the slices are a lot bigger. Like compared to the ones we get in the UK, they're at least twice the size. So it kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense why people often, at least in New York, say I had a slice of pizza for lunch. It's because the slice is massive. Poor today, Liverpool still in second gear. Yeah, 100%. I'm hoping. I mean, it was poor. It was frustrating. It was boring, to be honest with you. But a win's a win. A win's a win. But equally, they need to look at being a bit more kind of effective going forward, I'd say. Now time to wait 90 minutes for the Barcelona game. Wow, you're gonna have a football centric day, which is a good way to spend a Sunday. I can't lie. Edits says Prison United. I feel bad for Man United. I don't feel bad. I feel bad for Mr. Default. But for United in general, I do not. I mean, we were doing prediction videos during the summer, and people were saying, "Oh, I think we'll be a fourth next season. I think United." Someone last week was saying United will get top 4, and I was like, "You're not gonna get top 4, not like this." I said it earlier. Americans are fatter. Lol, need to be bigger. That worked out as a benefit for me because I got the train from New York to Philadelphia. What was it called? has like a specific name. Amtrak. I got the train, New York to Philadelphia, and I was surprised how massive the seats were. But surprised in a positive, in a positive sense, because our train seats in the UK are tiny. So I liked having the extra space. If we played Liverpool today, we would have beat you. I mean, Liverpool scored 1 goal, but United scored none. Would it not therefore be a 1-0 Liverpool win? Liverpool also have a tendency to up the stakes against United. Reluctant Gamer is happy United is failing, but yeah, feel sorry for Mr. Default, yeah. Mr. Default's emotion is just sadness, unfortunately. Gonna laugh at my United friend tonight. Good stuff. I think that's on the menu. I watched the Roma game this morning, 6:30. No simulcast. Wow. So that's like 4 games. The Roma game, the Liverpool game, the Man United game, and the Barcelona game. Impressive, really. What's the best place you visited, says Reluctant Gamer? I'd probably say New York. I am going to Canada in like 3 weeks. So I might change that. Might change my opinion. So I'm gonna miss the Liverpool Chelsea game. I'll be on a flight then, so I might change my opinion. But overall, probably New York. In this past year, I've been to New York. That was good. Prague was nice. Lisbon was nice. Thankfully, I went before the funicular had issues. Berlin was quite nice. Paris, I felt like was overrated. Barcelona was cool. Probably other places. Dr. Gamer says, I've wasted 3 hours watching you. Yeah, I've spent 5 hours here. So 3 out of 5 is not too bad. 3 out of 5 is not too bad. Are you streaming Barcelona versus Newcastle? Indeed. I will probably create the stream for that tonight or maybe tomorrow. But yeah, Barcelona, Newcastle on Thursday. I will be here. Chelsea next week, another loss. I look forward to that. I can't lie. Canada is amazing. It's very different from New York. Yeah. Montreal for 5 nights and then Toronto for 5 nights. I'm not too sure what to expect, but should be fun. I don't like traveling during the summer, so I've not gone anywhere for 5 months, so it should be good. Fingers crossed. Is Arne Slot making the right decisions as manager? In general, yes. In general, yes. You can tell I've been here for 5 hours because I'm not getting my words out properly anymore. But in general, yeah. There's some things he could perhaps do a bit differently, but Liverpool are top, 12 points. Can't complain too much. But anywho, I best depart now. Number 1, because I'm starving. Number 2, because I've been here for 5 hours. And number 3, because my watch is complaining, saying, you've not done any walking today. What's wrong with you? So, I shall depart. We'll be back Tuesday, Real Madrid versus Marseille. That should be a good one. And yeah, hopefully see some of you guys then. I noticed that. Toronto is very similar to big cities in US. Because I like planning. I like planning my whole routine or whole itinerary. And like I was planning it for Montreal. And Montreal, they all speak French, I guess, because it's in Quebec. And what I noticed, it had like very specialist shops, and like they didn't have like traditional supermarkets. They didn't have like so many chain restaurants. Whereas then when I got onto planning Toronto, there's like Subway on every corner, there's KFC on every corner. It's more from what I could see, Toronto is more like US, whereas Montreal is more like Europe. But I guess I'll find out in 3 weeks. Liverpool forever, you're not alone. I do like that, Pilau. Appreciate that. Dawood says, have a good night. You too. Hope you have a good evening. Shall be back on Tuesday. Well, hopefully Marseille win, but you never know. But yeah, anyway, guys, hope you have a nice weekend, and yeah, see you guys soon. Take care.